Every day you wake up, it's a new day. Maybe you're facing today with excitement, or maybe you're unsure, frustrated, or concerned. No matter where you are at this moment, we want to share some not-so-secret sauce with you that is sure to tool you up for your best performance yet. Hi, I'm Jen Zimmerman, and until I applied the following not-so-secret sauce to my life, I found myself frustrated and unfulfilled. I led teams and had success, but it felt like I had to push people and put out fires constantly. Frankly, it was exhausting, and at the end of the day, I was far from my best when I got home. Today, I have purpose and intention. I unlock potential in others and am able to help teams and team members remove bottlenecks that prevent performance. What I have discovered along the way is that there is an easier way to manage that is more fulfilling and rewarding, and it comes from the most read book in the world. Yep, you've probably guessed it. I'm referring to the Bible. Now, before you form an opinion and hop out of this video, I encourage you to hear me out on this one. If you are a Christian, then you're stating you believe this book to hold truth. Let's be living proof of that truth. If you're not a so-called Christian, whether you become one or not, this book has some principles that work. And if nothing else, take it for its leadership, team building, and relationship management excellence. As a talent strategist, I have created acquisition, development, and retention strategies, but none have proven more effective than those I can only credit to this book. That's why I've created the Elevated Readiness series, which elevates leaders beyond our 5 core readiness skills and preps them for whatever life and their team throws their way. In it, I teach principles that, when applied, take leaders and team members to a whole new level of unity, trust, and performance. So you can tuck your Sunday morning teachings away for the week, or you can unleash the awesomeness. For instance, you'll learn the same self and team awareness skills from our standard course, but we will deep dive in what it truly means to love people. Love is a choice, and though we often say we care, do we? As it says in 1 John chapter 3, verse 18, "Dear children, let's not merely say we love each other, let us show the truth by our actions." We live in a self-centered world, and yet we are built to serve. There are many studies that have linked the quest for self-satisfaction with mental health struggles. It is not only beneficial for teams to think in terms of each other, but it is healthy as well. The Bible also teaches us how to give and receive truth. In a world filled with offendedness and anger, it is difficult to actually share thoughts and feelings without judgment and criticism. We struggle to give truth, but we really struggle to accept it. Now, sometimes truth is in the eye of the beholder, but when did we decide that relationships should be tossed aside the minute we hit a road bump? So we teach problem solving, but also how to give and receive criticism and correction. The Bible gives us a lot on this topic, from Proverbs wisdom regarding pride, or Romans reminder we all sin, or even in James chapter 4 verse 17, remember, it is sin to know what you ought to do and then not do it. In this deep dive, we will challenge you to use thought and reason to solve complex issues without being offended. And when you get stuck, we will show you ways to get unstuck. The key here is you must first love. Anytime you are giving and receiving truth without love at its source, you best check your premises. In this series, you'll also learn methodology for being accountable to yourself and others. I will give you this verse to set the stage from Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." Our worldly fears keep us from so much good, but where we need to fear, we don't at all. It's time we talk about fear. That's just a small fraction of what you'll learn in this deep dive leadership series. It covers so much more. We haven't even begun to talk about removing anger and bitterness with grace and forgiveness, or learning to discern good and right courses of action by developing wise counsel and using the power of prayer. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn and know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Imagine a team where love guided their actions, truth was all they sought, fear of getting it wrong fueled them, while fear of anything else was released. Grace was ever present to get them back on track, and wisdom and discernment was their guide. If this team readiness existed, what could stop this team from peak performance? So what does it take? The courage to lead with love, truth, fear, grace, and discernment. Are you ready to be courageous? If you are ready, contact us today to learn more.